blessed full moon in Leo and the month of love, right? So this month we're going to play with all different kinds of love because there's so many different varieties. But we're going to start out the highest level, right? Why not start out at the top and filter down? It's a full moon in Leo, and Leo is the lion, right? Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is that life-giving heart of our planet. It is what makes things grow. It's what gives you that, nothing like being in a dark place where the clouds are low and you feel really like this. I remember living in Toronto, and when it got even briefly sort of warm, people were like coming out in little tank tops and midriffs and I was like, oh my God, it's still freezing. It was that desire to have that sun energy, that warmth, that heat, that life force coming through you. And so the sun is really like, whoo, yes, my heart is alive and loving, and love is what begets more energy and more life force. The interesting thing is you can't have love without trust. They're completely intertwined. You can love the way somebody looks, you can love the way they smile, you can love the way they talk, but you can't really have an in-depth love affair without trust. And our biggest lack of trust is in the infinite. We have this God word that we put here as like a placeholder. We say he, she, it, right? We like to give it pronouns, we like to, but it's a very limited view of the divine. We used to think that we were the only planet. Then we thought that we were the only universe. And now they're showing that there's universes upon universes still being created, that we're in this massive, creative opening continuously. And for our minds to grok that infinite, it isn't possible because our minds limit us. They want us safe. They want us, we have what we call the three aspects of the mind, right? Your positive, your protective, and your neutral minds. And they do just that. They want us to see the vastness and they want to protect us. And then hopefully you drop into that vast neutral space that allows you to know that you don't know. Allows you to know that thing called our soul, our essence, is beyond our knowing. It's very, very bright, and it has no, what do they say, that you lose when you die, you lose like 7/10 of an ounce or some small little thing. And is that the weight of the soul? Is that the weight of our essence? We're not going to worry about that today. We're going to play with how vast can our love be, that agape, that I am yours. I trust that whatever you give me is what I need. And usually we do this, yes, I trust, and then no, I don't like the way you're running my life, I'm taking it back, oh, yes, I trust that you're here, and no, you're not really here. I can't see you. I don't feel you. So we do this dance with the divine of surrendering and being in that love place and then pulling back and landing on the earth and going, I'm here by myself. I'm doing all this by myself. And the truth of it is that we're not the doer. The Kartaka, Satkata, only the divine is the doer, the truth is the doer. And when you're in that place, whatever gets done, you all know I love Hafez. Well, Hafez was the poet of the emperor. And then the next emperor came and he was out. He was like, cast completely aside. And, and his wife died and his child died. And, then he was brought back. So it wasn't like he had this smooth, steady, of course I can, love, because everything in my life is perfect. We have this conditional love. When things are really great, we love. When they're challenged and hard, do we love them? Do we trust that we're learning the lessons, that we're getting the input that we needed to awaken us, to connect us infinitely, right? To give us that knowingness of it's all good, it's all okay. I just heard this wonderful little story this morning about this young woman that I know that's had a real challenge leaving this man because he's really sweet. He's also a raging alcoholic and addict, drug addict, and told her very clearly, even though she's in recovery herself and goes to meetings there, he's not going to change. He's not going to give this up for her. So finally, she had the courage to leave, even though she felt that getting this apartment on her own, she was totally overextended. And then after she made the decision, she gave the check, she got the apartment that's close to where she lives, and she got a promotion and a raise. Okay. So oftentimes we're asked to leap before there seems like there's a landing pad. And that's, the beauty of love. Love allows us to leap. Love allows us to see into others, to look at them, and can we see their challenges and their greatness? Can we see, their beauty and the beast? That's what love does, without judging. I had this wonderful conversation with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about, people who lie, and especially politicians, and the fact that now you can track, all of the indiscretions, all of the, lies that have been told. And I said, the thing that's so interesting is we blame and shame, and we don't ask why. What made you, do this? Not with a judgmental mind or an accusatory mind, but an inquisitive mind. Like, what got you to do this, to say this, to feel this way? And sometimes people just pick up a lot of energy from stories that people have told them, experiences people have said, and they make it theirs. We don't know. But what love allows us to do is to see beyond what we're being told is true, is real. We have that trust that we're being guided, right? That we're being uplifted, that we're being held, that we have this whole fantastic, army of gurus and saints and angels and guides behind us, in front of us, with us, that are moving us in the direction that we get to move. So, talking about Hafez, this is like one of my super favorite Hafez poems, because it is both so beautiful, and I want you to close your eyes because it's extremely visual. It's called The Crystal Rim. The earth lifts its glass to the sun, and light is poured. A bird comes and sits on the crystal rim, and from my forest cave I hear singing. So I run to the edge of existence and join my soul in love. I lift my heart to the divine, and grace is poured. An emerald bird arises from inside of me, and now it sits upon the beloved's glass. I have left that dark cave forever, and my body has blended with his. I lay my wing as a bridge to you so that you can join us in singing. Yes.